to be a actual get ready with me with the Glamlite Pizza Slice Meat Lovers palette. I'm actually going to be doing a dedicated video to this palette because I've been using it in lives for the first 2 looks that I did with it, because I got the palette on Monday and I've been using it for the past 2 days. But now I finally want to do a dedicated video to it and actually do a look for you guys. So I want to do something more everyday wearable, of course. But if you guys saw my live with Debbie on Tuesday, I did use the palette for the first time. We both did a live first impressions. So this isn't a first impressions video. And I usually always do a first impressions of basically every palette that I get. And originally we were supposed to do a first impressions get ready with me with our palettes that were from Give Me Glow, but it kind of wouldn't have worked out for either of us because my Give Me Glow palette is actually coming later today, and I'm just gonna film a first impressions on it tomorrow, but at least I'll have the palette to film with it, because originally it said it was gonna come on Friday, but it's coming late afternoon today, Thursday, so I'm happy that it's coming today. So I'll already have it, so I won't have to wait around for it tomorrow to film a first impressions, because I probably would have not been home to use it tomorrow, because that's usually when the postal service drops off our packages. It's always around like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I'm usually always either about to go to my boyfriend's house at that point, or I'm already out getting food for us, so I'm usually never home to receive our packages until later at night. So I'm glad that it's coming today, so I don't have to wait around for it tomorrow. But I can't use it today because it's not here yet, but I still wanted to use this one more time before I test out the Give Me Glow palette all weekend, so it worked out. So anyway, I'm just going to set my eyes and then we'll move on to the palette. I'm actually still pretty tired today. I never feel like I have enough energy anymore. I just always want to relax. Like, I'm always exhausted, but also because it's summertime, it is hot out. So let's jump into the Glamlite Pizza Slice palette. I think that this is such cute packaging. And you open it up. I never know how to open this thing, like, ever. You open it up, and it's basically like a pizza box. Isn't that so freaking adorable? And then the palette has pepperoni on it. And it says, what's your favorite topping? Because this is the Glamlite Meat Lovers Pizza palette. Glamlite Pizza Meat Lovers palette. So, this is what the packaging looks like. So freaking adorable. And then on the back, it just says, follow our Instagram, and it says warning, do not eat, and then it says glamlite.com. And then this is the front of the palette, and then when you open it up, it comes with a plastic insert, and these are the shades. It comes with 5 shimmers and 5 mattes, and it also comes with this really nice mirror. I'm probably never going to use the mirror, but so this is what the palette looks like. So we're going to jump into this today. I'm probably only going to use about 4 shades today because I want to do something a little bit more neutral. I don't know if I might use the orange as well again, because every look I've basically done with this palette has been very orangey or very reddish, but I figured that because mostly the crease shades in here are warmer tones, but there's not really like a mid-toned brown. But that doesn't have to be in every palette for me. Like, I'm sure all of us have mid-tone browns, that they don't have to be in every single palette. So, I'm going to start off with the shade Meatballs, which is basically the neutral brown in here. And I'm going to take that and put that in my crease. I'm not going to use, and I really don't use transition shades anymore. Honestly, I feel like most of these brands don't really need them, because they blend so easily. Especially Glamlite builds up really beautifully, and it's very smooth, and it blends out really nicely, that you don't really need a transition shade to help it blend out better. it blends out really nicely on its own. See how fast that builds up? Really, really pretty. And it took like 2 seconds to place in the crease. And then I'm going to do the same on this eye. I actually have to meet somebody in like an hour. And then I'm going to my boyfriend's house. So I got to stay home yesterday. And today I have to do like 10 million things. So I kind of wanted to stay home today too. Because I'm already getting overwhelmed with like a few things this weekend, but hopefully everything will work out. I'm just having a bit of anxiety today. Like there's days where you're like, oh, thank God I can just sit home and do nothing. And then there's days where there's like, I have too much to do. And that's what today is. Okay, so I don't know, I just feel very anxious today. I think I'm going to put on my diffuser while I'm getting ready. It always helps me. Oh, but I'm charging my phone. I think I'm just going to plug this into this one. But, you know, the oils do help calm me down. Just feel a bit anxious. Oh, crap. Hold on. Debbie's messaging me. Okay, so for my crease shade, I'm going to go into the ColourPop palette just because I just want to keep it more neutral today. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Note to Self from my ColourPop palette. What am I doing? I don't know. And I'm just going to use that as a defining shade real quick. Just because I want to use neutral browns, because I'm really only using like 3 colors from the Glamlite palette, so I know this look isn't as interesting as the looks I've been doing with it, but I haven't done a neutral look with it yet, so oh, that blends in so nicely with it. I like it. But yeah, if you guys saw me and Debbie's live, we did a first impressions on both of our Glamlite palettes. It was so funny because originally we were going to do a Give Me Glow first impressions for my palette, but she had already used her Give Me Glow single shadows on her live. So for the defining shade, I'm going to use the shade Sausage. And I'm going to put that in defining shade. For my outer corner shade, I'm going to use the shade Sausage, and I'm putting it on my outer corners. The shade Sausage is very hard to say. But I had asked her, like, have you used your Glamlite palette yet? And she's like, no. And I was like, why don't we just make it a Glamlite first impressions instead? And she was like, that works. So we did it much earlier in the week because I don't think I was going to have time this weekend, and she wasn't going to have time this weekend either. So I was like, let's just do it on Glamlite instead. So it wasn't really that planned. We literally planned it like the night before, and sorry, my computer derped and froze for a second. Okay, and then I'm just going to put some glitter glue down, and then we'll do the lid. Okay, so for the lid shade, I'm going to use, I'm not sure if I want to use bacon or chicken, or just use both. I'm going to start with chicken, because it's this really gorgeous gold. So I really want to put that all over my lid, but bacon looks like such a beautiful color as well. Ooh, that is gorgeous. What should I do? I think I'm going to use both just because I'm dying to use both on my lid. So I'm going to take bacon. Actually, I think bacon's more of a topper. Let me just swatch it real quick. Bacon's a little bit more glittery and sheer, and chicken is like more of a shimmer shade. I mean, they're both kind of sheer, so I feel like you could use both of them like interchangeably. But bacon looks like it's more like a topper. So I think I'm going to use bacon on top of chicken. How funny is that? Bacon on bacon. And I said bacon. Bacon on top of chicken. Such a dumbass. Oh, so pretty. They both kind of are a little bit more sheer than the other shimmers in this palette, but they're really pretty. And they build up really nice too, and you can get full opacity out of them. Okay, so we got that down. I don't know if I really want to put anything on top. It's really pretty by itself. I think I'm just going to leave it alone. Because I was just going to put bacon on the inner corners. So I think I'm just going to do that. And I might, like, put it a little bit on the corner. But I think I'm just going to leave it alone. So, because for me, I always have to test out the shades all over my lid before I start, like, mixing shades. Like, I just want to see how the shade performs on its own before I start using more than one shade on my lid. That's how I've always been with, like, trying out new palettes. So I'm just taking a little bit more of those crease shades and just getting them to be a little bit more pigmented. Okay, I'm gonna go grab my face products. Okay, so for my face makeup, I'm gonna go a little bit, I'm not gonna go crazy, but I do want a little bit more coverage today since I have shit to do today. So for my face, I'm just gonna use my MAC Prep and Prime spray as usual. And now I actually do have another new high-end primer to my collection because this was my sister's boyfriend's primer. He used to be in Cats the Broadway tour, so he had a bunch of makeup that we took back to our house after me and my mom cleaned out their apartment, and I didn't know that this was in there. And I wasn't going to use really anything else that they had used unless it was a primer or some type of liquid foundation that, you know, that didn't touch their hands or whatever. So I was like, oh, let me use this primer. I don't know why I'm putting it on my chin. And now I've actually wanted to try this primer for a really long time as well. And this actually, I thought it was still going to be like way more hydrating, like the Catrice one, but this one is actually, it's hydrating, but it's very tacky. So I was like, I was surprised that he wanted something so moisturizing, but I'm sure he wanted something really tacky too, since I'm sure he had foundation on and like a bunch of like face paint makeup, like for the whiskers and everything. So he probably wanted something moisturizing because I'm sure he hated wearing foundation every day. But he probably also wanted something I mean, he probably didn't even think about that. It's probably the sales person that was like, you know, this is great because it'll stick, the foundation will stick, but you also will feel moisturized and you won't feel like it's as heavy. That's probably what she told him. So he was probably like, yeah, cool, throw it in the bag. But who knows if he thought about it or not. But I was like, oh, cool, I've been wanting to try this for forever. So I was like, can I keep it? So he originally wanted us to ship out the box of makeup to them. And he's like, what if I need it for something down here? But it's like, no one's really doing any type of theater production right now safely. So I was like, what would he need it for? But he's going to start filming something that he might need face makeup for. My sister's like, just use my makeup. I'm not even using it. Because my sister really doesn't wear half as much makeup as I do. She said she hasn't worn makeup in like 2 months. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I could never do that. So for my face, for my foundation, I'm going to use my Anastasia, my go-to. I'm in the shade 110C. I don't know why I keep on having trouble with the dispensers on the, or the pumps on this foundation and the ColourPop one. It's being a pain. But this is like my favorite foundation if I need to do like anything out of the house. It's always my go-to. Okay, so now I'm just going to blend it out. But Debbie was messaging me that she got way further into Dead to Me, and she's on episode 6 of season 2, and I'm like, yay, you're almost done. I was like, it gets crazy. And then I've been rewatching Ozark with my family, with my mom and my brother, and now they only have 5 episodes left. I'm like, oh my god, you guys actually got through a show. Well, I think they have 6 episodes left. We watched 2 last night because the night before the power actually went out. I was at Josh's house though, so I didn't get home until like, because my mom texted me around like 8:30 and she was like, don't rush home, the power's out. And I still got home before 10, because if I got home any later, it's like super pitch black like where we live, so I didn't want to get home too late. So obviously we couldn't watch Ozark then. And by the time the power came back on, it was like almost 11:15, and I was like, it's okay, we'll watch tomorrow. But it did come on a bit earlier than we thought. They said it was going to be midnight, but it came on around 45 minutes earlier, since it came on like around 11. So actually it was like an hour earlier, doy. But by the time like my mom got everything set and we were finishing playing a game of Scrabble, because that's usually what we do when the power is out, we just play Scrabble. Why not play games? I mean, it's just hard because you can't see that well, but I was like, yay, we can play Scrabble. So that's what we did instead of watching a show. So we told my brother, I was like, is it okay if we watch 2 tonight, which was yesterday, because he thinks that we always get through shows too quickly, and he's always like playing video games or being on the phone with his friends till like 10:30 at night, and like doesn't ask us when are we going to watch a show. It is annoying. Okay, so for my concealer, I'm going to use my Urban Decay Stay Naked in the shade 10NN. I feel like besides this concealer and the Urban Decay Honey palette, I really haven't been interested in anything else from Urban Decay since the Honey palette came out. I just feel like they've kind of lost their touch again. Because for me, the Honey palette was such a huge hit for me. That palette is gorgeous. The formula is amazing. I think that's the best formula they've ever had in a naked palette. And I just feel like the Ultraviolet palette is kind of like a back step. I heard that the foundation, though, for the Stay Naked, foundation is super matte. So I didn't ever pick it up. Because I originally had the All Nighter foundation, and that was a good foundation, but at the same time, again, I didn't need something that was that high coverage. And that was a great foundation, actually, but again, I just don't need something that high coverage when I end up falling in love with Urban Decay's concealers. I still think Urban Decay makes like some of the best concealers in the game, and this concealer is great. It's still one of my favorites. I always loved the original Naked Skin concealer. I did love the All Nighter concealer as well. And I love this one too. So they know how to make concealers. They're definitely my favorite brand for concealers, honestly, because besides this one and the Fenty Beauty concealer, I really haven't been all that interested or impressed with other concealers from high-end brands. Most of my other concealers are affordable. I have Jouer, I have Kevyn Aucoin, and I have, those are like my other high-end ones. I did just finish up my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer finally. That I've had for too long in my collection. Because I've used up like 2 tubes of that before. But I was still working on using up the last one that I had. And I had that for a while, basically when my mom was still working at Bloomingdale's. Okay, so now I'm going to set my face. My friend still hasn't messaged me back. We were supposed to meet. I was supposed to leave in about 10 minutes to go meet him, but I'm not leaving until he answers me, so I don't think I'm going to be leaving for another, like, half hour at least. So I'm just going to use my no filter powder to set my under eyes. I was going to say under eye my set. Set my under eyes, Caitlin. Under eye my set. Really? And I've just been trying to use up this powder, so I've just been using it pretty much every day. I still haven't used up another foundation yet, because even though I am on a no-buy for foundations, for some reason it's becoming very difficult for me to use up foundations for the past year or so, when I used to go through them like water, and now it's like I really don't have, because I think at one point I just overwhelmed myself with foundation that I didn't need. But there were a few foundations that I wanted to try, and then I ended up getting rid of half of my older foundations that I didn't use anymore. So yeah, it's annoying. And then I just set my face with my Flower Beauty powder. Okay, and now I'm just going to prime my lashes real quick. And then we're probably just going to smudge that crease color on the lower lash line. So I'm just going to go back into the Meat Lovers palette. And I'm going to take the shade Meatballs, and I'm going to put that on my lower lash line. We're going to take Meatballs and put it on the lower lash line. This palette is so big, I end up like setting it on everything else. I mean, it's not that big, but like, you know, since it's shaped like a triangle, it's hard to place it on my desk with everything else. Oh, that shade's so pretty. Well, my friend also has a lot of trouble sleeping, so he said he was going to set an alarm, so hopefully we'll meet soon. Okay, and then for the inner corners, I'm going to use the shade Bacon, which is this beautiful shimmer. I used this one yesterday in my live, and it looked so pretty on the inner corners, so I'm going to use it again. And then I'll do my mascara and stuff off camera, just to save some time. You don't need to see me applying mascara for 20 years. I'm just going to finish that up, but it's so pretty. Okay, so for the waterline, I just used my Maybelline Brown Skinny Liner, and then I went in with my ABH Lash Brag on the top lashes. My favorite mascara still right now. And then for the lower lash line, I went in with, the lower lashes, I went in with my Maybelline Lash Discovery as usual. So now we're going to jump into the face. So this is just the bronzer I've been loving lately. So I've just been using it like non-stop for the past like week or so. I did use the Physicians Formula yesterday, but I've just been switching on and off between those two. So I'm just going to jump into my Milani Dolce real quick and bronze up the face. I'm surprised I haven't hit pan on this yet, but Baked products do last a lot longer, so. But this is basically my summer bronzer. And so is the Physicians Formula, so I just switch off between those two, honestly. Okay, and then for blush, I'm going to go into this Makeup Forever blush. It's one of their single blushes. I'm not really sure what the name is, but it's like this really pretty, like peachy color, and the Makeup Forever blushes are really, really good. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that on my cheeks. It's actually not as peachy as you would think. It's like a softer peach. It's really pretty. Oh, such a pretty shade. I'm not too crazy about the highlighter that I got, and I like the Makeup Forever glitter. You know what? Speaking of that, maybe I'll use that as a highlighter instead. Let me grab that real quick. I haven't used that in a while as my highlight. I think I'm going to use both anyway. Yeah, I haven't used this in forever. I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo in the shade 2. And I'm going to use the gold highlight in here. I used to use this one a lot. If I could open it. It's this gold. It's just falling out of the pan. But it's still functional. It still works. It just came out of the pan. But it's still totally functional. So I'm going to use this gold. Oh, wow. That is stunning. Wow, I forgot how pretty that is. That is gorgeous. Oh, so pretty. Okay, and then we'll do the other side. That is so pretty. I don't think I even need the other highlighter I was going to use. I'm glad I used this one. So pretty. I haven't used this in so long. I don't think I've used this year yet. So let's show it some love. That is stunning. I don't think I even need any other highlight. That is actually really beautiful. I forgot how beautiful this is. It's just so nice on the skin. Yes. Then I'm just going to set my face with my Fenty Beauty spray. And then I'm just going to brush through my brows real quick, and then we'll do the lips. Okay, and then for my lips, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to wear just a gloss. So I'm going to fill in my lips first with my Lime Crime Velveteen Lip Liner in the shade Platform. Let me just take a little bit more water. Drink a little bit more water. And Erica, I am going to be ordering a sippy cup soon. I just realized that all the ones that we have in our house are kind of dirty and old, so yeah. And no one uses them anymore. They're just sitting in the drawer. And I was like, I don't really want to use those, so kind of want to just get my own. And I could just clean it, but so I'm just gonna fill my lips with the whole lip liner. And I'm just gonna fill my lips fully with the lip liner. Whole lip liner. I see Kathleen Lights do this all the time, so. And then, okay, and then for the lips, I'm just going to fill them in, or top it off, with this Glamlite lip gloss. This one is called Horchata. And it's this really pretty, like, nudish color. So I'm going to put that over top. But what I didn't realize is that when I ordered these from Glamlite, I thought at least one of them was going to be a lipstick, but these all turned out to be lip glosses, and I was like, oh, okay. And I feel like this one you really have to build up, but it is a really nice formula. I just don't love the scent, the cinnamon scent. But it doesn't really linger, I just don't love the scent. I don't like the artificial smell of cinnamon. I like the real thing, so. Okay, and then I'll show you guys the final look. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. So here are the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look using the Glamlite Pizza Meat Lovers palette. I will try and do more like colorful looks with it at some point. I'm just going to be testing out the Give Me Glow palette all weekend, but I really wanted to try a neutral look with this. And the shadows are so beautiful in the crease. They blend so nicely and softly, and they look so seamless, and the shimmers are beautiful. So far, I've been really impressed with their quality. So I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. I really have to get out of the house. So I love you guys. Bye.